I'm Kate Power, Director with FIFO Consulting, a risk safety advisory consultancy business. I lead the mental health wellbeing wing of the business. In terms of the process and the programs that we use within the mental health wellbeing space, we use the GROW model, which is a process for goal setting and problem solving. We have a number of additional tools that we use to ascertain the state of organisations' mental health and wellbeing. They include psychosocial surveys to understand worker demands, worker resources, and worker outcomes. So in terms of worker demands, we seek to understand things like what are the perspectives and views on procedural fairness, group and task conflict, time pressures, job changes, supervisor support. And in terms of worker resources, we look at what are the structures that are set up around praise and recognition, supervisor support, and co-worker support. And from there, we garner a view of the worker outcomes and impacts from a psychosocial physiological perspective in terms of sleep disturbance, drug and alcohol use, musculoskeletal type incidents that are related from a psychosocial perspective, and job burnout. We combine the outcomes of survey results along with detailed analysis of mental health and wellbeing data points from an organisational perspective across EAP, trends, workers' comp, psychological based claims. And we garner all those data points together to start to build the picture of the mental health wellbeing risk within that organisation. Then we go into a further level of analysis with key stakeholders across the organisation in terms of worker outcomes. So, for example, if an area, a team within the organisation has had high levels of bullying reported, then we'll facilitate working groups to better understand the survey results and test those survey results essentially, and what anecdotally has been shared with us. All of that forms a really comprehensive risk-based report and strategic mental health wellbeing strategy. And so I think historically that's the change that is being made across organisations, where there historically has been a non-risk-based, more ad hoc approach. And what we're finding is taking a risk-based approach is certainly providing organisations a really comprehensive, detailed understanding of the challenges from a psychological perspective within the workplace and how they're impacting employees. So, as an example, these outcomes on this slide were the survey results and analysis undertaken within a first responder organisation. And so when you look at these results, some of them obviously are quite concerning. When we look at the bullying levels and group conflict, the high level responses around concerning sleep patterns, job burnout sitting at nearly 50%. These are all interrelated, and that's a large part of the focus of the work that we do, is finding the connection points across these outcomes to understand the drivers and to understand from a psychosocial perspective what's happening for employees and how to build really evidence risk-based informed strategy and programs for organisations to have a really clear 2 or 3 year program to reduce their risk in this space.
Thanks, Kate. And just in relation to just the way that Kate has indicated the program works for them, what I'd like to do now is just explain how a platform like Skytrust can also assist you in managing any risks or areas areas of sort of compliance that you're wishing to maintain. So just very briefly, we talked about the risks of psychological injuries and health well-being. What we are looking at here now is part of our corporate risk register. So just showing you that information that you are gathering from any analysis that you're doing can be captured in this risk register. You can see that you can undertake your initial scores along with your residuals, identifying your controls that you would like to maintain to address those risks and mitigate where you can any of the risks, also including reviews of those controls in relation to different personnel maintaining and ensuring that the risks are being managed in the workplace. The other thing that you can do within Skytrust is create a bit of a survey through our inspection module. So this would enable you to send out an inspection or allow employees to undertake the survey through the inspection module. You can set up a different set of questions that would allow you to engage with the employees in relation to their mental health well-being at the work front or even at the home front. Enables them to answer these questions and then commit the actual survey via the inspection. And that will then give you an indication of what levels of, maybe anxiety or stress employees within the workplace are experiencing. We also have then out of that, maybe anything that you're identifying in relation to your risks or through the survey results. You can also then arrange for an induction or even like a training program to be sent out to employees. You can provide them with information to improve their awareness around their mental health wellbeing and then respond to some questions in relation to that documentation that you've also provided with them. One of the final areas I just want to quickly cover in relation to Skytrust is that we do also have a psychological register available within the system. We have specifically isolated that from your normal mainstream safety incident reporting due to the confidentiality and sensitivity of these types of incidents, but there is an ability for employees to actually log an incident. If they feel they're experiencing levels of anxiety or stress or, maybe bullying, harassment within the workplace, they can log an incident through this register, identify the risk rating around that, and details in relation to that particular injury that they feel they've sustained. That will then lead to the incident being recorded within the system and someone then able to do an investigation and undertake corrective actions or preventative actions from that. So it has exactly the same workflow as any other incident investigation. So that's pretty much a very brief show of what Skytrust can do. So if you do wish to contact us, feel free to go to our website, www.skytrust.com.au, or alternatively, you can call us on our landline on 08 8361 7100. Thank you for your time.